Allow the two
It's okay. Off your mind, it's okay. Off your mind,
Chai! Now wow, people wey supposed talk truth to power don't off mind. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ aráyé. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Maiyegun Live. Please read the caption of the broadcast, the description, okay? There's more from where that is coming from, okay? Or read that, share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them that Maiyegun today. There are things you need to know going on. They are important that you know them. Tell everybody.
Facebook,
Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, they are up to something very great. And Nigeria will be the loser for it. You need to know.
Yes, right.
729 billion naira cannot be accounted for by this Ajia, who happened to be the Minister of Disaster, Poverty Management, and whatever it is else. This woman shared over 720 billion naira to poorest Nigerians without a single record. But she is now asked to prove all of us wrong. How did she do it? Chat today as the Sunday sermon that we missed earlier. Thank you. Today, happy Sunday to everyone. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. It is Maiyegun Live, and it is Maiyegun Says Sermon. Yourself as a viewer, you are considered as a Templar, because this is the temple of truth. So you are welcome, and thank you for joining me. The news out there, ordinarily, I know some of you have been following the developments across the West Africa. I do not need to kind of revisit everything, but for context, the hardship being experienced across Africa has in it the collaboration of the people that the politically conscious people called the imperialists. These are those, the criminals in charge of different countries in Africa called investors. And what are they investing in? How much of their investment has changed the lives of an average African, especially the West Africans? So a revolution kicked off sometimes in 2022. Sorry, take it back. Sometimes in from 2020 to 2021, I think it kicked off in Mali, when the military in some of these West African countries started going after their criminal political class. It happened in Mali, it happened in Guinea, it happened in Burkina Faso, it happened in Niger. That was when the supposed investors, France, that has held many of these West African countries hostage, economic hostage for years. They've had enough. So they needed an ally that could help them start a pseudo or proxy war. That was the time Pablo Escobar, the Jaga addict, the Jaga bandit, thiefnubu became the president of Nigeria. He was so desperate for validation that he jumped on it to save the investors, imperialists. As a big brother, that kind of thrown many Africans off their feet. Like, what? Why would Nigeria want to wage war against the Niger Republic? For what? Nigeria under thiefnubu said they wanted to go and restore democracy. The people in this country said they don't want democracy anymore. A lot of people in Nigeria who are living under the bondage of the false democracy, the ass lickers, the crumb eaters, the voluntary slaves of the contraption of Nigeria, especially the Agbadorians, the bastards. They were so eager. They said it will be done and done over with. Within 4 hours, Nigeria will kind of go to Niger Republic and free their leader. But before that, thiefnubu declared sanctions on Niger, just like France and the West declared sanctions on Burkina Faso, on Mali, because they removed their own kleptomaniac criminal political class. The West was in bed with them. The people were the victims suffering for that. So they removed them. Then the West sanctioned the country to suffer more. And it happened to Niger Republic. thiefnubu started sanctioning them. He cut off their electricity supply. He cut off their trade, supplies. He cut off everything. They didn't do anything to Nigeria. A lot of us sort of raised alarm, and thanks to David Undeyi, who eventually laid his hand on a memo that thiefnubu has already mobilized over 10,000 Nigerian soldiers to the border of Sokoto and Niger in preparation to attack Niger Republic and force what they rejected on them. So in the whole of the melee, some felt like sanctions will force all these guys to surrender and follow the dictates of these Western powers. But somehow they found an unexpected ally in Russia. You see, for those of you who have been following the reading of these white malice, the reason why they truncated African independence and turned it into imperialism that we are suffering from today, them and their collaborators, indeed, was because they said Russians are communists. American, the West are, I don't know what they actually are. So for communism not to spread in Africa, that was how they truncated African independence, remember? Now it's like, this is now the comfortable ally for these countries that the West, who did everything in their world then to sort of truncate the Russian incursion into Africa, USSR. In this case, they were denied by the West that has enslaved them for long, using fake democracy, and then their big brother, Nigeria, that has now become the puppet of the same West, punishing them. Baba, the world was expecting the people to revolt of hunger and this or that. So the people supported them. So what happened? They got so much arms supplies. They got so much grains, wheat, and all of that kind of food supplies directly from Russia. This has sort of brought them more together, like closer, because they are supposed to be independent country. Do you understand? Like Nigeria is pretended to be an independent country, okay? They are still spending money that is printed for them by France. This their own foreign reserve, Central Bank of Niger Republic. Their deposit is domiciled in France, in Paris. They cannot withdraw the money in their own account, supposedly, in their foreign reserve. They can only borrow from it with an interest imposed on them by France. All of this was going on. The criminal political class of these countries were comfortable because they were getting their shares. They were helping in the smuggling of the mineral resources from their country. And the proceeds from that, France is helping them to keep them away. So what kind of independent country still get their money printed for them by their colonial master? What kind of independent country cannot keep their own foreign reserve, their money, in any other foreign country except in France? What kind of a foreign independent country will not have the right to withdraw from their savings, but they can only borrow from it with interest paid back to France, to French banks? All this came to light, and they consider themselves as, you know what, it can never be worse. It can't be as worse as what we have been through. And somehow they are becoming creative about it. And I told people closer to me today, I said, the only thing I smell from all of this, if my analysis is not going to make it sound like I am being paranoid or becoming a conspiracy theorist, I need you to pay attention. Okay? Pay attention to some of the few pieces of details that I'm going to try to fuse together. And I will leave you with whatever you think this whole thing is all about to you. Because it is only when you understand something that you can probably either try to fight or prevent your involvement. You know, there are times that you are dragged into something that you never had a say, but because you didn't really understand it, you didn't understand the damages this could be, you just look away until something happened later and you're like, how did we get here? So please pay attention, okay? It's important. This whole thing is going on diplomatically. The West was waiting for these people, for riot to break out, you know, for some other group to emerge, for some internal disagreement to happen, so that they can break this entire thing they call revolution. Initially, it was called coup, but we later discovered that it was actually revolution that the people of those countries have been waiting for to be carried out. They would have done it. They didn't have the power. Those who are protecting these criminals now turned on them, got rid of them, and it became their revolution. And that is why the support they have, the understanding they have managed to secure from their people became their building strength. And here we are now, with the help of Russia. Russia is now training with their own whatever expertise. So they are now training these countries, supplying them the needed weapons. They are giving them more, what do you call it, geographical sort of coverage in understanding the hideouts of the terrorists that are stationed across these Sahel states. France, UK, America, and a couple of them, they have been telling us that the reason why they needed bases in Africa was because they wanted to prevent the possibility of a terrorist using Africa as a recruitment ground and a launch pad to attack America. Unfortunately, for years that they have been having these bases in Africa, especially this Sahel region of Sahara Desert, rather than for this American presence, Western world presence to curb terrorism, it has made the entire region more volatile. The ethnic nationalities across these Sahel states, they have become more polarized, divided politically, courtesy of these Western countries. These Western countries have armed different sides to attack themselves, funding both sides, as long as they are busy killing themselves. And, you know, their mineral resources, they won't have any time to even understand how much of their mineral resources are being stolen, unchecked. It's been working for a long time. Now, this guy said the presence of this France and the rest of these people in our region is not helping. It has never helped. Our situation, if they leave, our situation can be worse than what we have been through. So now they are actually going after, they are killing, these terrorists are killing their soldiers, right? But they are kind of understanding the people they are fighting better now, and they know those who are supplying them. You see, these understandings is such a huge problem that somehow, a whole countries who are already poor, but they are being subjected to more hardship sanctions, sort of a conspiracy among the supposed world power that should think about the people living in these countries. They don't give a damn about them. So now, these guys are now building from this whole gang up against them. They are building from it, charting some new course that generations to come will thank them for it. So let me tell you, they have been mulling the idea initially when these whole sanctions were coming from everywhere. For no reason. Why are you attacking us? Have you even looked into why this is happening in our countries? Like, why are you siding with those who have kept us poor intentionally? So they withdrew themselves from all of these African organizations that were like being sponsored by the West as well. The African Union building built in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, is built by the Chinese. China constructed the entire building. Majority of all these rogues, before they call them, they are going to Sweden to go and hold African summit in Sweden. They are going to China to go and hold African summit. They are going to America they are obeying people that probably don't even have to visit Africa, but they are deciding what happened in Africa through those puppets. So these guys withdrew themselves from all those groups. You can't help us. There's no point in being part of you. So they kept getting supplanted. Surprisingly too, China. China is also on board with them. Where their industries, electricity generation that will no longer, that will make it, that will make them, power independent, to have their own electricity without anybody turning off the electricity. Not caring about their hospitals, their schools, and institutions that need this electricity to survive. People who need them. Nigeria didn't care. They turned it off. Now they are already contemplating the idea of using their own uranium, the one that America wants to protect from Russia. Now Russia have access to that uranium now. Yes, they do. Not because Russians don't have their own uranium, not because Americans don't have their own uranium, but the thing is that Africa is a place where everybody can survive on for now until there's nothing there anymore. Then they can possibly go back to theirs. Now, the owners of all these resources are now deciding who should have access to them. And guess what? The Russians are now working with them in planning on how to use the same uranium and every other resources in that place to generate nuclear power. Electricity that doesn't go off ever. Forever and ever. So, these are all the things on the table. This is part of all the things on the table. Economically, Nigeria cut off their trade, their trade, their connection. It cut them off. Transactions, bank transactions between Nigeria and Niger Republic and few of these countries were cut off. They later reinstated them. But then, these guys have already started developing theirs. So, to make themselves work now, they are like, you know what? If the population of Niger Republic is 22 million, the population of Mali is 25 million, or the population of Burkina Faso is 30 million. I'm just using these random numbers now because I'm not sure what their populations are. Exactly, right? They now believe that if you put all these populations together, we are like about 60 million or 70 million. People, if you have 70 million people, you can build the economy on them. You can actually build something, you can build your currency, you can trade among yourselves. And the level of trade, the volume of trade between all of you is enough to sustain you. If you share your security together, you share your infrastructural development together, you share your economic ideas together, and you are also sharing your monetary policies together. Now you can build a strong bloc that this issue of dollars or euros or whatever other currencies that they are using to trade. Now you can now decide, this is the power there. You can now decide that, listen, you see us in this block, we are called so and so. The name of our currency is called this. Now, if you want to buy anything from our country, you would have to buy in our currency. And that simply means we will decide how much is going to be the exchange rates at the value for that resources you desperately want to take from us. Listen, they said, The moment they told all the French companies extracting free resources that they were selling, they were selling French companies, they were selling kilos of some of these resources at so much ridiculous prices that it was pretty much like a giveaway. Imagine buying a kilo. I'm using kilo now. I don't know what they use in measurement. I mean, measuring uranium, right? Or maybe not tons, right? Anyway, let's say, imagine selling a ton of uranium, selling that for £5. And you can take like 1 million tons of uranium, which will fetch you over, let's say, for example, it will fetch you over maybe $100 billion. But you only pay £5 million for it because you are just like, it's just like a takeaway. Yeah? So you will be so rich, the owners of this will be so poor, and that money is not even given to them. The money is deposited in France. So if they need the money in Niger, they will need to go and borrow the money in France. This is what they have been subjected to for long. Now, with their own bloc, this is the economic sense in it. Whatever they are growing, their food, and anything they are actually trading between themselves, right? Their refinery, they have refinery. Do you know that? Nigeria is refining crude oil from Niger Republic. I don't know if you remember that. Yes, the refinery is owned by Nigerians. Okay, maybe not, but they have their investment there. I'm just saying, just so you know that they have all it takes to generate their own electricity. They have all it takes to generate, to build their own economy, grow their own food, strengthen their own currency. Now, if you want to trade with them, you want to go and buy you want to go and buy cows from Nigeria. You want to go and buy ram. You want to go and buy livestock from Niger Republic to bring to Nigeria. You're not going to buy them in franc. You're not going to pay them in naira. You will buy with the currency they say is their currency. You will exchange it at the rate they want you to exchange it. As Nigeria is an enemy nation, you can only imagine what that means. 3 countries coming together with the population of over 70 million. That is something. With the resources that the West and the East want to kill themselves for, they can decide how much they are sold. They will be so rich in no time. Not only that, they will be respected. Now they've started. Just so you know. They have now started. They are turning the punishment and sanctions that the colonialists was sort of unleashing on them. They are now turning that into something of strength. Nigeria is still there, waiting for the reform, the this, the that to happen. They are looking at them. Some of those of you who were laughing at them, you call them poor nation today, but they are actually making some decisions. I know it's not going to happen so easily. But what do they have to lose? America will not let them. Kinikon will not let them. These guys are no longer living in that fear anymore. That's something you should see. They are making these bold steps because they are not sitting back crying. See what they are doing to us. Because we told them to leave, they have destroyed our country. Because we told them to leave us alone. Look at what they are doing. They are not doing that. They know they will do this to them. So, what do we have to lose for trying? Having our own common currency. Generating our own electricity that we share among ourselves. So to our people enough that, build our own, with the help of Russia and China, they are now contemplating of building their own nuclear power. It is for electricity, they say. And all it's going to take is just for Russia or China to ship any of their nuclear aid to any of these countries. Yes, America and the rest of them will say they're sanctioning them. Of course. But do you know that is not the only thing I want you to see about this? because this is how it kind of concerns you, all right, and me. There is this conversation around where to relocate all these bases to. I'm talking about the American base, the French base in these countries, because they've been kicked out. Now they are talking to other countries. Ghana, I think Ghana have the American base or something in Ghana. But they wanted the base to be next to these countries. And because of this, Nigeria and the US and France, they are already in talk. We have this, we kind of had this chat on this platform a few months back, right? Okay. I just don't want you to wake up tomorrow and feel like things are moving too fast. They are not really moving that too fast. You just need to pay attention to things that have happened and things that are happening. They needed to move all these bases elsewhere, but not far away. Benin Republic is close to Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali. Nigeria is close to Mali and Niger. And Nigeria is really the perfect place for them to put their base, because they need to be so close enough to know what Russia is doing with these people in this country. I saw a video earlier today. I was going to share that with you, but I was like, maybe some other time. Some Americans are already, I don't know if you have seen that, and I actually feel bad that I didn't bring that video, okay? But there are some Americans who are already returning to Burkina Faso. In Burkina Faso, they speak French, right? I've been a Portuguese. Okay, speak French. That kind of reminds me of Accra, 1954, from this book, when Ghana was about to become independent, and some Black Americans decided, including Martin Luther King, decided to visit Ghana. Some of them, in fact, started some Black organizations, this organization, that, to support the freedom of Africa, this, da. If you have been following this book. But I have started seeing that play out already. Americans, French, they have been kicked out of these countries. And they have been told that if they want to do business with them, they would have to do that on their terms. Now I've started seeing Americans returning back to Burkina Faso, because according to them, it is now the cradle of the Africans who want to return back to Africa. Same playbook. Again, like I said, I don't want to start making, I don't want to say much enough that will make it look like, this thing don't sound like. It's not about what it sounds like. It's about the fact and what I am saying. Pieces of info that you need to put together and tell yourself, what is it that is coming? Americans want to know what is going on inside our place. So they are not leaving. They can know what is happening in Niger Republic, in all these countries, right there from their base in America, in Pennsylvania, and all these places. It won't be like having the boots on ground. A place whereby within 15 minutes or within an hour, they are already in the country. They have troops are there. If there are things they need to quickly blast and destroy, if there are things they need to have a covert operation and make sure that it's gotten you know what I mean? Like, they need the boot on ground. And that is where Nigeria is. But having the boot on ground, simply just say, us in Africa, that I just want to live our lives peacefully, raise our family, and just enjoy life as much as we can, and then die peacefully and become ancestors to our children, who are always going to be calling on us on the issues that bothers them. We do not want to involve in their World War III preparation. We do not wish to be part of the people, the ignorant generation that will help them set the stage for the Russia, China, America, NATO, and the rest of them confrontation. Let's help them set the stage in Africa. All for what? Because that's what it is going to come down to. Because anything that America considers as a threat, they do not joke with it. It doesn't matter the Turenshi you are speaking or anything, they don't care. But there is a way that they will care if the puppets that will decide if this is going to happen or not have been taken out. Then you have a chance to get them to care. But right now, the doom upon Nigeria, apart from the hunger and the rest of things that you are currently battling with, is the fact that these guys are setting the stage for what is going to become the battleground for the famous projected World War III. And this is what will make it World War III. Let me say this. Right now, the whole world is already at war. In case if you don't know, pay attention, because when you look at this the Hamas versus the Israel, and you see the Russia versus Ukraine, and then you see all the countries that are all together back inside A, back inside B, using different kind of warfare, economy, and others to fight themselves. This is already happening. We already have those who are bombing themselves on the part of the Koreans, the Japanese, the Chinese, who are testing different bombs at different islands in this other part of this Asian Pacific. Everyone is preparing for something we don't know. All it will take is just to say, Russia, they fight Ukraine. Now they probably drop bomb on the UK, Germany, and the rest. Now they are also dropping bomb in Moscow. At the same time, America said don't they collect. China and the rest of them are also, then you kind of will be like, hey, what is going on? This is the stage they are setting. And I'm not being paranoid or being a conspiracy theorist. He who failed to learn from history is bound or doomed to repeat it. And this is it. These guys are taking their stand. And if there's anything called African unity, if you remove the greed and the puppet and the puppeteers relationship that has forced many African countries into poverty, this 21st century slavery, if you remove all these puppets who are making all these horrible decisions, America will have to what? Respect the decisions of all these supposed independent countries. Whatever their fear, whatever their worries, they will just have to kind of learn how to live with it and grow up with it. But you do not tell America to grow up if you do not have the ball of a iron. These guys are showing that they have the ball of iron, or ball of steel rather, balls of steel. Africans who are already raised to live in fear, courtesy of the criminals who are holding Africans down for these imperialists, right? So Africans that are already living in fear, they are projecting this fear. A lot of you are already projecting this fear on these people, but you are not seeing the bigger picture. The bigger picture there is that what the rest of you in Africa should be doing genuinely, without either being the without being the puppet of the World Bank, the IMF, who are infiltrating your economy, turning them against your people. subjecting them to generational poverty. You see, if you take all these guys out, because that's the real job, then America would have to sit on that table and say, okay, you know what, let's talk. There's a lot we have heard about North Korea. So much that a lot of people believe could happen to North Korea. It is not because America cannot take care of Kim Jong-un, but there is something the American public. See, American public, they are raised sort of to believe, to support the American foreign escapades. Rightly, wrongly, American public is made to believe that it is in the interest of America so that the terrorism will not happen in America. It is to protect America. That is why the United States of America is investing in so much abroad so that they can nip the terrorism abroad and Americans won't have to feel the brunt. But the moment they realize that the nuke man or the rocket man, Kim Jong-un, has at least the capacity rockets, the rocket with the capacity range that can level the entire Florida, that you will never see Florida on map anymore. Now, America didn't take that lightly. Whether it's going to do it or it's not going to do it is something for another day, but they know he has the capacity to do that. Yes, if that should happen, the entire North Korea will be gone from the map, agreed. But we in America is going to sanction that and kind of make that happen just to test if it's going to shoot the rocket or it's not going to shoot the rocket. So that then would have to make America to respect that boundary. They are setting boundaries. America is saying, if you try so and so, we are going to. Kim Jong-un is telling them that if you try so and so, I'm going to. So both of them are pretty much like, let somebody try something. Nobody wants to try anything. But Africans are made to believe that if you try it, it will destroy your money. They will shake it. There's nothing you can do with your resources. Listen, yes, you have all the resources. You see, if the West decided to sanction Africa, this is the fear we grew up with. And therefore, we just have to take whatever is dished out to us. And the rogues in different African countries want to make you feel like that's the best deal you can get for now. Take it, take it, take it. These countries are saying no. And I'm proud of them. I wish them well. And I hope that you probably will have many like them. Rightly or wrongly, what do they have to lose? Because that's the point. What do you think Niger is going to lose? Because America is angry. What do you think this Burkina Faso and all of them will lose? After what I told you, what they are capable of achieving. So I'm seeing the brighter side. And I'm wishing them well. I will keep paying attention to the development from that place. So back in the contraption, this is the woman. Ajia, supposedly, Ajia Farouk Sadiya Umar, the dishonorable dishonorable sinister of poverty management, disaster management, and all the other nonsense title they gave her. This woman, you see, that's another thing. You that is watching me from Nigeria, you know, there is this saying that Nigerians, but we have kind of amended it now, okay? Some Nigerians are not totally against corruption, oppression. They are just not happy. I mean, they are just not happy if they are not the one benefiting from the oppression, the corruption, and the rest of that. That is when you are going to hear from their sky daddy. They have sky daddy in Nigeria. The one that is capable of just killing anybody they don't like. In Nigeria, they will kill you in Sharia law, in the name of what is called blasphemy. If you say something about the Prophet Muhammad, if you say something that some people feel offended, they will kill you. Also, they were raised to believe that leaders are appointed by Allah, God. That nobody becomes leader without the consent of Allah. And it is haram to go against them simply because you don't like them. And you must watch the way you talk about leaders. In Islam, it is haram to condemn your leaders publicly. It is haram. It is haram, right, to protest your displeasure against how you are being led. It is haram. It is un-Islamic, they said. Even though it's a lie. Or is it true? But surprisingly, stealing is not haram. Looting public fund is not haram. Kidnapping helpless people, vulnerable people for ransom is not haram. Killing innocent people is not haram. As long as you say Allahu Akbar 3 times. Raping underage girls is not haram. I mean, if you steal public fund, you deny millions of people access to public service. That should be haram. That should be a sin. Lying should be haram. But not in northern Nigeria. The Sharia north, where the hypocrites, terrorists, Islamic terrorists reign supreme. They destroyed Nigeria 64 years of existence. 64 years, 47 years. This Sharia North presented leaders that led Nigeria one time or another. And the only record they have is the poverty that becomes so prevalent in northern Nigeria that it has now become a national emblem. They failed their people so much that they weaponized that poverty. They weaponized that ignorance. These people will kill you. That you insult Muhammad. They will kill you. For their Allah. It is such a barbarism that they are not ashamed of. And it's already spreading, unfortunately. The people that kept them poor, the criminals that are sponsoring terrorists and terrorism that are making their life hell, they are still revered in their mosques, on their streets, in their palaces. Revered. Looters. Revered. Their sheikh, their clerics, they are fighting for slot to be who is going to go and pray for any of these looters on their special prayer days. And this woman from that part of Nigeria was appointed to help reduce poverty in Nigeria, especially the northern part of Nigeria. Right? She was a minister, a complete sinister. Under her, over 4 trillion naira was expended in fighting poverty in Nigeria, in lifting people out of poverty. But rather than the 4 trillion naira in 4 years to buy prosperity for people, it bought them multi-dimensional poverty that collected Guinness World Record, the poverty capital of the world. Where is the money? She said he lifted 11 million family, comprising of a total of over 60 million people that they shared all the money to. Now they are asking her, listen, you don't even need to account for the 4 trillion. Just come here and account for just 1/6 of the money. The only person that shared the government's money for 4 years and they did not write it down. There is no record of who collected what and when. The money is gone. Because the strategy then was to, and listen to me, in case if we need to value that, under Bokohari, a dollar was in their central bank 420 naira to a dollar. Now, if a woman expended 4 trillion naira in 4 years to lift Nigerians out of poverty, only for more of them to end up in that poverty inside the rabbit hole as we speak. Now we are talking about billions of dollars here. A woman with a job and her friends and others, they stole over 2 billion naira for themselves. Sorry, 2 trillion naira for themselves. That's a lot of money. That's the wreck they did to Nigeria. So a court has ordered that she will need to bring the record. If she presents it, I'll bring it here. If I tell you that I haven't tried to at least find something other than just conjectures, make up numbers. Imo State, they were paying money into people's bank accounts. If I had a link to any of them at the time, they could pay maybe 1 billion to my account. I should go and share the money to people in Niger. They could pay me 10 billion naira to go and share. Depends on my role, That's your own, or your take. And if I collected the money, you just kind of look for a house in the UK. Look for a house in Dubai. Build one nice fancy house in Odogbolu, where I can build few halls. I can call all the youth to come there. I can call it Maiyegun Youth Development, Maiyegun Youth Hall. Give some money to some youth who are going to carry banner in case if all of you are asking for the money. It will tell you how I have been a very big philanthropist, how I have helped the community, how I spend my money to develop the community hall, how I sort of put so many of them through schools. So I have to do all of it. Once I finish with all of that, that's it. Then I put some money in APC, Egbe, as a party member. Say, yeah, Egba, I give you 100 million naira. I say, Maiyegun General. Shiki, mami. Owode, shiki. All their musicians will pray, and they will sing my praises. You know that. That's how some of them, got all those ill-gotten wealth that they are kind of brandishing everywhere you see. No real source of it. Sadiya and all billionaires from northern Nigeria, they were cashing out big time. So yeah, for Nasarawa State, somebody with a cell recharge card is part of them. They send their 5 billion to him in tranches. In 4 years, that oneself don't become multi-billionaire. Recharge card seller. But what about the poor people that the money is meant to go to? They don't share bag of rice to some of them. You go and see my page. Go to my page on Facebook. Go and see how many people I bought bag of rice for. One by one. The court is asking Sadiya to come out and explain how they shared 729 billion naira. Who collected it? Show Gbowo. You know that what they were asking? I said, did you collect money? Show Gbowo. Gbowo. Ewo ni o Gbowo. Mo Gbowo. Mo Gbowo abi o Gbowo. Show Gbowo. Mo Gbowo. Mo Gbowo. Ewo ni mo Gbowo. Show Gbowo. Mo Gbowo. Mo Gbowo. We didn't share. Show Gbowo. Because now they don't drag Sadiya. Sadiya will need to drag everybody will collect money. It's just a theatrical. Nothing is going to happen from that. So that is another heartbreaking part of it. You hear all these things. You imagine what this money could do. You imagine the lives this money could change. You imagine the children that could actually access education in a country with over 20 million out of school children, man. Some few individuals could just make away with trillions of money, like, just it's like nothing. It's like nothing. The moment you begin to ask them questions, then they will begin to throw in their tribal card. Why are you why are you talking about me? Oh, is it because I am a Alaye? It's not because of all this. Baba Shoya Wereni. Where is the money? That's the question, man. It's not because you are Yoruba, you are Igbo, you are Hausa, or you are Fulani. Alaye, drop all that pretense, man. Igbo lowo yewa. Where is the money? You will never see the money. Like when they call themselves, please do something about this Sadiya case. What are you going to do about this Sadiya case? The rest of the worries that are defending them are eating hope now. thiefnubu is offering them hope. A majority of them are salivating the hope. Earlier today, I was asking, I said, when did the egg turn to 250 naira lalakwere? Then some people started, in Nigeria. Something don't happen to people. And I'm not a psychologist, certified psychologist, but I'm also like, you see, I am kind of, I don't know if this is acceptable to some of you, but it doesn't matter, okay? I am like a spiritual psychologist too. We don't want Nigeria go. It go be like say person way kind of have, you know what that means? Like, and to well you have it to see you. What that means is that I can see things you can't see. I know it's gonna sound like Alaye Baba, calm down, Jare. But I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You got to change. You got to APC, Egbekegbe promised change. Baba, I'm going to change you. Even some people will tell you, Baba, since this APC came in, I'm not the same again. I say, I know, Baba, I know. No, you don't understand, Maiyegun. I've not remained the same. I know that something has changed inside me. Even in your head, too. I know. I mean, I feel sorry sometimes, but, When I was growing up, Papa, I have told you many times here, right? A lot of us share similar stories of our childhood. We suffered in Nigeria. They made us believe that it is actually a normal thing for you to suffer, to be poor. To the point that to motivate ourselves, African Wahala, I don't know if you remember, we did tell ourselves, say, God actually loves poor people alone.
if you know what rich people are facing, you will not like to be rich. It's a little like me. Eh? All of you don't want to be rich. See, if you God love poor people, baje. If poor people can't they cry. If you cry and God see tears, it will become emotional. Anything where you ask God, I grew up believing that. I grew up living to manage. A lot of you grew up living to manage, but this is 2024 now. Eh? I mean, I remember too. Should I have shared the story with you here? When we were using, this was 1995 or 1996, when we were using wood shavings, sawdust to cook abacha stove. The area where parents, they will put pot on this, they will put pot on fire, add stones, pour water. They say they are cooking. The children will be seated, waiting for their dinner. When is it going to be ready, ma? Wait, is just about little. Wait, you should relax. Give me another 30 minutes. Your food will be ready. No, there's no food there. Until everybody will just have to sleep and just doze off. They will take everybody to bed tomorrow morning. Whatever you see. I mean, I grew up in the time when they said parents no longer ask if their children have eaten. If they are belly full. Are you full? So have you had your dinner? Yeah, are you okay? I grew up in the era that you don't ask your children if they are okay with the food. You ask them if they have eaten. Have you eaten? Say, no buts. There's no buts. Yes, my but no buts. Now go get ready for bed, everybody. That was the era I grew up. How could anybody want their own children to suffer that again? In 2024, they are asking you to go and start farming, to go and use a plot of land by the side of your house. They are asking you to go and grow tomato at the back of your garden to fight food insecurity in Nigeria. They are selling they are cutting yam into PCC, 506 pieces, yam. They are cutting bread. I grew up living like that in 2024, where you have children now, and get bread, and get shoe, and manage, and you are hoping. And somebody came and said, this is not new. It's not new, Jare. It's not today. And spaghetti. You can no longer buy spaghetti. God is showing you. And God is showing. And I put out there, I said, these guys are sort of like, this is how it is, okay? Let's say you have your parents, for example, right? And then your parents, they have 10 children, okay? 10 of you. Now, you're supposed to be children, which means to be cared for, to be protected, to be supported, and all of that stuff, right? Then you have irresponsible parents that without any support, no preparation, no empowerment, no nothing, you have to fend for yourselves. You have to survive on your own. And then your parents are now demanding that you should be responsible for your own upkeep. See, you are irresponsible, guys. You are irresponsible. We didn't beg you, okay, to be our parents. You chose to be. Now you are irresponsible. In your irresponsibility, you have made us to grow faster. We have to grow quicker to survive. Now, you are seated there in your irresponsibility, passing down judgments, and possibly even promising us punishment. If you don't grow up, I will punish you. That's exactly what these rogues parading themselves as your leaders in Nigeria. That's exactly who they are. Irresponsible people who won't take responsibilities, but at the same time, they want you to fix it. What are you doing to fix Nigeria? Baba Fulani terrorists are killing people and chasing people out of their farms. What are you going to do? When your military, when your police, when your government are indeed giving them the state immunity, protecting them, what are you going to do? But why don't you go and start a small farm at the back of your house? Irresponsible people asking you to be responsible in order to cover up their own responsibilities, and some of you are not kind of digging. Let me show you something. These rogues, after stealing all the money they could steal for themselves, indeed, they left the rest of you so vulnerable that the Fulanis that possibly felt like they were those in power themselves, indeed, well, they continue to be to create and wreak the havoc. The terrorism that I am talking about, the reasons why many of you are buying half yam, half tomato, half spaghetti, and they're asking you to go and grow food at the back of your house, when those who could actually grow food, who are intending to grow food, break the price of this food inflation, they continue to suffer pretty much like I'll show you one. Sorry, I want to bring okay, I think it's this.
Sorry, man, no koloko. Odara. Nílùú Ẹ̀gbẹ́. Nílùú Ẹ̀gbẹ́. Nílùú Ẹ̀gbẹ́. Ẹni ẹlẹ́ni ṣe wàhálà okoko sórí. Sora yẹyin tó bá fẹ́ ṣàpamọ́ sínú gbombe kó má jáde ibi ba na ma dé bá yín. Wá lé màlúù ẹ kúrò nínú oko olóko. Mo pariwo fún ẹ o.
Ọwọ́ wù ẹ́ sàbí.
Mo pariwo fún ẹ o.
Ọwọ́ wù ẹ́ sàbí.
Wá lé màlúù ẹ kúrò nínú oko olóko. Tọ̀. Wọ́n kọ́ dùn mí pé mẹ́mọ̀ lólóko yìí.
Ajẹmọ́.
Tọ́lá gbẹ̀yìn o. Bòròrò wá lé màlúù ẹ kúrò nínú oko olóko. Tọ̀. Ṣé ìgbà parí oko olóko lọ ẹ̀? Wọ́n ní lọ́nà bẹ́ẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ mú àbọ̀ àbọ̀.
Ṣé rí?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ mú àbọ̀ àbọ̀.
Ṣé rí? Àṣẹ ìpè kí alẹ́ alákàn ìkó náà kí alẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ náà oko olóko òkọ́ àmọ́jà jáde sóde àìpíọ̀ torí àlíọ̀ àìkọ́mọ́ ti dé alásínà léra àìpíọ̀ kọ́ alẹ́ alárẹ̀ kọ́ alẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ náà oko olóko. Eléyìí dùn ó dùn. Paki onípákí paki ngesi nílùú ẹ̀ka àgbàdo èjókòlẹ́tì ẹ̀sẹ̀ píọ̀ ọ̀sàsínàgbẹ̀ àṣebọ́niwégbọ̀.
So when they come to you and they say, go and grow food, but when they want to report that kind of scenario, their media will say farmers others clashes. Somebody just asked there, I think it's Director Scott, can you see as the farm is attacking the cows? Did you see the clash? In a place where lies is the order of the day, and people are living with that, pretending that the consequences from all of this, because now it is obvious that it is deliberate. So they send their cows, they send their terrorists to attack all the farms, to destroy the farms and the rest of that, so that you can go and what? Go and grow your tomato at the back of your house. And if you don't have a land at the back of your house, go and buy from your neighbor that is growing tomato. They destroyed Nigeria. And they are not done. They are not really done. So Sadiya, which is pretty much not aram now. Now you are going to be hearing how people hate women. Some people, is it because she's a woman? Or is it because she's a northerner? Why are you, is she the first person to steal? In fact, all these things, I don't believe it. I don't believe that she, Nigerian, so. And that's why I call it theater. Just enjoy the old drama. Somebody said that since money is involved in this Samoa LGBTQ EU deal, it be like say that one too self no be around in northern Nigeria, because those who are championing it, they are from northern Nigeria. Honestly, the people who signed this, here is what this guy had to say. I think I want to share that before we continue. Listen.
Joining us now to discuss more on this development, I have in the studio Mahdi Shehu. He is a businessman and a public affairs analyst. Welcome to Daybreak on Trust TV.
Thank you,
sir. I start this conversation by first reading your response to the Daily Trust lead story on Wednesday. Prayer for those who signed Samoa agreement on our behalf. May homosexuality, lesbianism, and child abuse be a permanent habit in them. May it run through them, their children and grandchildren, up to the last generation.
Amen.
Okay. What's walking through your mind now? The government has come out to say, well, we might have, gotten them a bit in context, out of context rather, because they say the Samoan agreement, contentious clause 2.5 and 29.5 didn't specifically say anything about promotion of LGBT rights.
Incidentally, I read beyond 2.5, beyond 9.5. The document in question is a 12-page document with 72 paragraphs and sub-paragraphs. In the entire document, they were playing semantics. They were insulting the intelligence of people. They were misleading people. When they say there is no direct reference to LGTB, it's not true. What is true is that they change phrases. In paragraph 39, fearing the fact that when they mention LGTB is going to, they said personal preferences. Yeah, they said personal preference. Federal government should read that document very, very well. They send somebody to say a document whose content they don't even know. Secondly, in the same document, they will make a reference. In paragraph 52, they made a reference to European Charter on Personal Preferences. European Charter on Personal Choices. If you go to those personal choices, that European Charter, it is purely given in wholesale and in retail.
So just semantics.
Yes, infinite latitude for people to express their sexuality in public without being criminalized.
So do you feel that the government is defending this agreement blindly?
No, I think they are promoting, protecting, projecting, financing, and funding ignorance.
How so?
Yeah. In the sense that here you are with a document that is globally in the open. It's being read, it has been read by millions of people. You still insist that your understanding must be the general understanding of people. It doesn't operate that way. People are not fools. People can read in between the lines. People can read in parentheses. You have no monopoly of interpretation. What the government are doing, the government is just being living in denial. And believe me honestly, the moment I hear the federal government denying an issue, that is the day I believe it is true. I only need their own denial. Because a
So their denial confirms
a
all
denial
of the
is a
substance.
confirmation by Tinubu regime. That is the truth. They have denied so many things. They are living in denial. I'll give you an example. They said Qatar is coming to Nigeria to invest $6 billion. The following day, the minister of Qatar said it's a lie, they never had that. They said Saudi is coming to invest in Port Harcourt refinery. It never came to pass. I can give you endless examples, even as recent as the Democracy Day parade, where the president fell down. Anybody can fall down. But see the explanation he gave, very insulting one, that people really didn't understand what he did, that he actually, as a Yoruba man, did a dobale to democracy. That is quite insulting. Is it this type of people that you are going to believe?
Joining us now.
The Mahadi guy is kind of angry that the thiefnubu's guys think everybody is a fool, like insulting your intelligence. You know what I mean? Like somebody insulting you that way. You fell down. Oh, I fell. Anyone can fall down. I can trip and fall down. Right? So why come around and oh, I just did my dobale denying. And he said, in fact, he cleared here on that. All of this, all for money. That some group of people will just take and steal, and nothing is going to happen. All for that. You know? And for, what do you call it? For those who, their own is not about Aram, theirs is to beg for unity. You see, I understand everything you are saying. But see, we need unity. All of us have to come together. We must come together to make sure that we defend our country and take our country back. We. We. You know the one that will say, we come together. With who? Or for what? Those are the ones that will tell you as well that God created Nigeria and it will never break, even when Nigeria is breaking them into pieces. Somehow they just feel like, just like it is not Sharia, if it's not Haram, then it is, you know, it is wrong not to believe that God can change the situation of Nigeria and the rest of, I mean, like, that's insulting. Most of them end up in places like this as well, you know, in a place where people are like praying for the criminals in government to have a change of heart. Imagine praying for criminals that God should touch their heart so that they can do what they promised you they would do. You know?
See what in Zion church you do people. Like they go there, they wait to go church tomorrow. Like Zion, waiting they happen. Say, which kind of church with this one? Like they go there, see like early morning where church go hold. This one no sharp at all. See people. Can't see people, oh boy, they have. See what.
Because Nigeria is a place, right? It's not just Nigeria. They say it's almost all over Africa, though, right? But I am from that place that I know more, okay? So Nigeria is a place where the economy continues to crumble. Factories and businesses continue to fold up. And people are losing their jobs. Only for some of them to go back to their former workplace. Because it is now a prayer center. They will walk back into their warehouses. There used to be warehouses for goods and trade and all of that where people are busy working. The economic happened, died. Now they walk back into that place. It is now a prayer center where they will go and pray for a job. Majority of them you saw out there, now the wahala of Nigeria will make them stay in front of church. I know, see, I again, see, this is my own experience now. That's something you will think maybe shouldn't be happening anymore, or at least if they're happening, they should be like, eh? And that's why I said that Nigerians don't really, okay, should I say, many Nigerians don't really believe in any God, even though they appear to be godly. Sure, you get some of them, all that nonsense, right? Listen, Nigerians or many of these Africans that are pretending to be religious, they are pretending to be religious because they are asking for something from God. And these days, because that God they believe is not giving them what they expected, some of them are no longer godly or religious. Facts. You get that? But when you see majority of them doing this holy, doing this Allah Akbar, and all of these things, now because of something they were demanding or trying to get from God, and that makes them so religious, they obey everything. Oluwa mi, Timo de toko, why did you let this happen to me? You see now, when something happened to them, they will say, God, why me? God, why me? I worship you. I serve you in faith. I serve you in spirit. I did everything right. God, why me? Because they don't expect some things to happen to them, since they are with this God that will keep them safe from everything. Economic hardship, losing your job, losing a child due to terrible healthcare system, right? Losing a job due to terrible economic policies, okay? I mean, getting kidnapped or a member of your family being kidnapped due to terrible security situation. They tell them they will be protected. And as long as they do what they are told, you will not be touched. Your family will be safe. Amen. In all of these kidnappings going on, it will not touch your family. Amen. All these economic policies, all these businesses that are dying, your business shall survive. Amen. That's why many of them are pretending to be religious. Their pastor promised them, okay, that the economy hardship will not affect them. Their, what do you call it? Their sheikh and afas, they've told them, by the grace of Allah, they will never be kidnapped. There is no how bad Nigeria become. It will never affect them. So when they are now affected, that's when you begin to see them. They look at the sky. God, why me? God, why me? Have I not been faithful? Because they don't think all of these horrible things should happen to them. It should only happen to those who don't serve God enough. It is a word of lost people. When I say lost people, I mean like people who have lost purpose. Unfortunately, they will disagree. They will disagree with me. Some will take it as an attack on their God. Oh, you haven't met these Nigerians who are fighting for God. They told me, they said, some will tell me to my face, oh, Maiyegun, I know you don't believe in God. I don't believe in your kind of God. Your kind of God is a magician. And I call it a sky daddy, the Nigerian God. It's so embarrassing, right? The way you kind of think wishes can possibly fix a country. It can't. It can't, unfortunately. But here was one of those deceivers. I don't know how many of you have been, I know things are hard right now, things are tough. But I remember 4 or 5 months ago, was it 4 months ago, when Sanwo-Iku said, as part of their effort to help you cushion the effect of the subsidy removal, all of you who are shouting, Ebing power, that you'll be fed every day. I don't know, I just kind of thought I should ask. If you're watching me from Lagos, please tell me, Sanwo-Olu ṣì ń ra oúnjẹ fún yín. Ó ṣe promise 4 months ago. Yeah?
The third level will be that we are now going to do what we call, the soup bowl, the soup kitchen. We did it also during COVID. We want to identify mama put, caterers that are in your look, and we want to be able to feed between 1,000 and 1,500 in every local government per day, at the first instance for the next, 30 to 60 days. So let's watch out the logistics. We have identifying, the caterers already. Funds will be sent to them, and they will have vouchers so that people just walk in, and just give them something, to eat, one a day, and let's just continue, on that. The whole idea around this is that one of the verticals will reach you in one form or the other. So that's regarding food. The third.
So don't say I didn't do anything for you. Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris, the humble slaves, the voluntary slaves, sophisticated morons. You, the Lagos Abobakus, the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, the bad star, the bad idiots. Call your distance cousins or relatives, call the Buharidins, the Buharididaris. I know you don't like me, I don't like you too. We don't pretend. And I like that way. You don't like me, I don't like you too. Don't say I didn't do anything good for you this year. Even if Sanwo-Olu has forgotten, I have just reminded him now. When they begin to give you that food, just don't forget me. And that guy where we like reminded them. 1,000 per local government area means Lagos State was supposed to be feeding 37,000 people every day for the past, every day in the last 4 months. That's what Sanwo-Olu promised you. All this is being power of a thing. Eje ka ma identify arawa, awa pe being power. Because just bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n bá ti di ọ̀tí ṣe lọ bẹ́ sómi ní Ọ̀ṣun. Very sad news. He said he can't take it anymore. It's all about hunger. Everything is not working. Life is hard and all of that stuff. He jumped off a bridge. So those of you who are like the sewage dwellers, the Ronu bastard, the Ronu Kus, the Ronu Nazis, don't say I didn't do anything good for you this year. 37,000 of you were supposed to be feeding from Lagos every day. No, 37K. 57,000 of you. Lagos State has how many? 20 local government areas and 37 LCDAs. Abi? That's 57. And Sanwo-Olu said their plan was to feed 1,000 or 1,005 per local government or LCDA. Abi? That's some number. That should be like about 57 to 60,000 of you were supposed to be feeding from every mama put in your area. That is something that they have forgotten. I hope don't say I didn't do anything good for you again this year. And let's leave that and go to something else too. Okay? But this brother, I kind of like this guy.
No more peaceful protests again now, because peaceful protests know they work. Yes, peaceful protests, they work. More turn out to one man, more enter so scatter everywhere. More shook, waiting no good. More no.
Don't worry, bro. You go see the people that want to shook as well. Don't worry. Nigeria will push everybody to that. Because what is all this rada? We are still kind of looking out and say these rogues should be held responsible for all their actions, by the way, right? But we have some of them who are actually giving awards and, sort of like awarding this or that to these rogues. That's not the one I'm going to share with you now. Here in Edo State, I think it was 2 days ago, when PDP thugs attacked Labour Party supporters and all of that stuff, and they kind of injured them, right? So their man was with them this afternoon, I believe, and he had this to say. That's the political part, okay? Now let's hear that.
We don't see their part one, we don't see their part two. Their party will not appear. No shaking. I beg. People are calm down. Yes, sir. No shaking. Who now they follow, they need more than 40 to shake us. I think they hear me so. Hey, the music. On the music. They don't serious matter. Wait. I don't tell the DPO. They tell them. Anything you see, you collect. Anything they see, they collect. When they don't fire. I don't send message, go who send them. Okay. Say, I don't want you. I don't want you. I've been past who they will intimidate. My deputy, the big past who they will intimidate. They're not fit. They're not fit. Talk your own, make we talk our own. We don't find anybody in trouble. We don't find anybody in trouble. Let them not find our own trouble. Let them not find our own trouble. As you see my eyes, so if you like cigar, I think they let me so. Oh, they rest. Don't see, don't spoil. One day election now, you bring boys come to break bottle. You will use your mouth shop the bottle. Nonsense. See, make una not shake. Nobody, now we get Nigeria, now we get Edo State. The people now get Edo State. If you don't work, come talk the one way you don't do now. But the break bottle say nobody will come here. Who is now you get out? Now you get Edo State. Oh, their father, they're mad. One day, I'm not going to go anywhere. I tell you, we must talk. Now, to scatter canopy. So, what do they use canopy? We will not be here with them. So, we not, look, our people from Umar, don't find anybody trouble. Just day your day. Let them say they are. If they cross their lane, they'll collect. Don't find anybody trouble. We dey talk our own. Make them talk their own. September 21, all of us go do what they are. Man. No shaking. And not be the kind of leader when we live now. If they trial. If they trial. Any vote they enter will pursue them. I think they hear. Whether you be Mr. Speaker, anything where you call yourself, we don't want, I dey warn. Don't enter my name. We be moving train, we be moving train, tell them. We dey cross. Make it not turn to the one wey turn to territorial war. We don't need them. Na election we dey, not be ministry we dey. But everybody when they say anyone they bring, we answer.
I hope those people where they say yes, yes. Now we get those say yes. I hope. I don't know if our Akpata children are old enough, but they are supposed to be there if they are 18 now and above, so that they will just all fight for those state that way. We're here watching the UK election, the transfer of power, all of that done within 24 hours. And the new prime minister, the new government, everybody is back to work just like that. 24 hours. But everybody knows that if they never shoot gun, let's say that election, that one election,
Eh? They never break bottle for your head. If they say they do election, they never break bottle for your head. That one an election. Eh? Which kind of election be this? So if you say they don't carry ballot box in 2024, where everyone would like to let you know that they are civilized, but they are not. Barbarians operating in a barbaric system will always produce one thing. Barbarians putting a crown on the head of a clown will not make him a king. It will make him a comedian, a circus performer. And indeed, the ground for all of this is how they lay them. And after the whole thing, when people have their chance, like this Kwara people, the people they say, yes, we'll do it. Yeah, APC, change, APC, change. Yeah. When they can't see them, you can come be like, ole, Shagiru, ole, ole, House of Representative member ahead who came to his constituency, and the moment they cited him, they just went for him. And the crowd, they wanted to lynch him. They said he failed them, but they didn't do anything, unfortunately. Fortunately. I think fortunately is right. Now look at you. If you are watching this broadcast tonight from Bagada in Lagos, I just say make I tell you, if your house near any of those canal, then they come your area, can't demolish all your houses. So in the next 30 hours, 48 hours more, because that was hours ago. If I tell you say na 48 hours, you go the thing say na Tuesday evening they go come. About Tuesday, they are coming to demolish your houses. So because of this canal.
I saw.
Madam tó kọ́ kìíní sórí kìíní nígbà ọ̀dọ́ mo dìídì ló
But talent of
máa kan tí ó ń jẹ́ lọ́ọ̀yà nígbà kan tí wọ́n fẹ́ bá wọn pàdé ní ẹ̀yìn ló ẹ̀ ò mọ́ bọ́ sí ọdọ sí òun nìkan nígbà ní sẹ́yìn.
Ayé social media aláwọ̀ ní ìsìn pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ìsẹ̀rẹ̀ ọjà tó kọrin tó máa fóònù hàn sẹ̀ tó máa jẹ́ kí opponent máa sọ pé òun.
Yes, báyìí ti rí wọn lókè wọn máa. Yes, na ẹdẹ yẹn lọ sórí television jọ́sí tó ń pariwo pé kí wọ́n ṣe.
Ìjẹta kọ́ ni ìjẹta àbánu no ọjọ́ ìjẹta ni gbogbo sọ
Channel Arise television
8 o'clock àti 9 o'clock. And if you see what these people are asking, as if they pay, government is not doing
anything. Yes.
You say, what do you
This
one, they have done. This one, they have done. That one, they have done. But the tower gun, I can't pass. Look for you now.
I'm a lot of
Welcome to our mega city, where Poseidon single-handedly
defended the city against the Atlantic Ocean. And Poseidon, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't want to sit here and reveal all my strategy. I am the first speaker among the three of us running. So they will spy on me. So you will have a limited answer here today. Another day you can bring me back.
I don't even know if that is a Ghanaian accent. It's not totally Yoruba accent. That's not how we speak. Another day you can no, come on, man. It sounded like a Ghanaian. You know, he's also a Ghanaian. Oh, why are you acting like really? It's true now. He's a Ghanaian. They call him a Ghanaian. All right. Then I saw where they said they gave with a wiki an award. Okay, award of excellence or something like that. Then they give another one. They shall give about 4 of them an award. So Wike decided to host the party, and guess those who were there with him, his own loyal lawmakers, Amawele and others. I'll just show you.
No more peaceful protests again now, because peaceful protests know the work. Yes, peaceful protests, you know the work. More turn out to one man, more enter so scatter everywhere. More shook, waiting on good.
Many people are in the bank because many people are dying. Everything are doing. Pressure ti wà. Má sọ Yorùbá. Gbogbo nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ ń lù yìí. Pressure ti wà. Èyìnbó kò ṣe sọ. Ṣé ìlú lé? Fún wa lówó wa, ànáwó ẹ wá sọ wá di lazy youth. Now ẹ sọ wá di lazy youth.
Lazy youth. They party, they show it, they flaunt it, just like they did in Kenya, until the day of reckoning. I love this, my person, Emmanuel. You know, I'm picking some line from you. You have been dropping some bars in the comment section, so I'm picking few. And many of you have been dropping some bars too. You know, it is going to be a day, there is going to be a day of reckoning. And all of these videos, they will come handy. They will come handy. And that is why you have the diary. Maiyegun's diary political. Always. So in Enugu today, Peter Obi was seen at a 90th birthday of a lady called Ekweme. And I kind of automatically just believe that that should be Alex Ekweme's wife, celebrating her 90th birthday. But that's not why I want to share this with you. He was there as a guest, right? And had a ping pong moment with his own friends or supporters. Obi.
Okute, 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 Okute.
I know some of you, the obedient. I can imagine what your face is like there. And to those of you who are the usual are people who hide behind, they are all the same. Meanwhile, your bigotry, which is what you are so shamelessly hiding, right? You are looking at it. Screaming. Whatever it is, it will always sort of force reactions from so many of you who have one or two things that you feel towards that, right? That's what we're going to draw the curtains tonight. I am going to open the line, and I hope it works. Okay? So if the line works, when I come back, I will take calls. But if it doesn't, that's going to be us for the night. But yes, if you want to be part of it any further, the line is going to be opened. Okay? And when I come back, I will see if I can connect it. Don't go anywhere, but like the broadcast if you have to go. I'll be right back. Thank you so much and welcome back, everyone. Listen up, we are counting. Do you know how many days it is now to the Yoruba Union Summit in Glasgow, right? You don't have to wait till the last minute, okay? And the link, so you are booking your own place if you want to join us from the 23rd to the 25th. Eventbrite. The link is right there in the comments, or if it's not, I'm going to put it back on, okay? Sign up, book a seat, and let's make it a day. I have the first caller, and I believe the line is working now. I believe. Hello.
It is. Hello, Mr. Maiyegun. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are
you? Yeah, fine. It's Hold Up again. Hold Up from Leeds.
How are you this evening?
Yes. Yeah, I'm fine. For some, I've not been able to call you because the last two nights, you decided not to open the line. So, but yeah, I am now. So to talk about
now the line is opened and I think it's working, and hopefully, let's hope it stays that way. Oh, it's good to have you.
Yeah, thank you. It's just about, it's again, we need to pour our hearts, say something so that we can reduce the anger in us.
That's right.
Because each time I talk about this, at least that will release me a bit, and then I will, be able to. The whole reason why I'm calling now again is that I don't know why Nigeria is not working. Why ordinary food that agbado might and all they say is it not just gari or whatever, but even that is not available. It's not cheap.
It's not at anybody's reach as we speak.
Yeah, I remember I was saying is it no agbado cassava this and that? This is not. Is that
okay, let me help you. Hold up, okay. There is where Paulu was going philosophical about it. Just for a few seconds.
And we are competing with armed robbers and the bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and the other thing. Take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, agbado, corn, and the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand and consumption. For over 5 million army of boot camps, we create our food. That's money for the farmers. That's consumption for the soldiers and skill development. Don't call them illiterate. Don't talk about illiteracy. Anybody who can own gun, who can handle gun, who can cock gun and clean the chamber and cock and shoot is technically competent to repair a tractor in the farm.
Hold up.
Yes.
What happened to all of that now? I didn't know the question we would ask me that.
Yeah.
Okay, now is the president. What happened to that cassava gariewa that people can no longer even afford them anymore?
I'm pretty sure. Maybe the guy has already forgotten, or maybe even if they remind him, Job, get out here. It was just for the election. Get out. Talking about. Who told you that Nigeria is these people? I don't know. Anyway, about this LGBT thing, is it because I still don't understand? Is it like somebody signed a document and then basically because they want to earn some crumbs, some dollars from the tables of the Western countries, or what? Or what is it all about? Because this LGBT thing, I'm pretty sure if it's about, for Nigeria to accept the idea of LGBT in Nigeria so that they can portray it, to the Western world that, okay, we accept all this so that because we are civilized and all, it will affect a lot of people who actually are migrating, moving from Nigeria out of Nigeria, because mainly some of them will lie that, look, because I'm a gay and gay is not allowed in Nigeria. So because of that, I need asylum. So that will be forfeited now, because that is, at least is a way, something to get asylum with, right? So if Tinubu now said, okay, no worries, just I will sign it and whatever, he has forfeited, because the Western world will be claiming that, but your country, no, is a lie. Yeah, because your country has already, they've accepted it, they are lenient, they understand what that is all about.
You are no longer discriminated against and all that.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not finding the right word today. I'm a bit, but I just thought yesterday, day before yesterday, I was so eager to say something. So that just one of the important points I wanted to.
Let me explain something to you, Older, okay? For the sake of our listeners, before I take another call, right? This deal, just for people to understand what it means, it is to protect. See, it is not just the only thing there. There are many things there. They are talking about human rights, okay?
Yeah.
And the right for you to identify as whatever you want, okay? And they will sponsor NGOs who are going to be the contact points in Nigeria. So if you have, for example, now like an homosexual who feels vulnerable, now you'll be able to have agencies to speak to, all right? Instead of, like in many communities where people are hiding it, in northern Nigeria, they are called Dandaudu. These are supposed to be men who dresses up like women, okay? And some people believe that they hide behind that and the rest, okay? So what they are proposing is, we'll give you money for whatever you want to do. And from this money as well, we're going to fund all these agencies to help the Nigerians who don't understand, the feelings, whether they are gay or they are straight or stuff like that, right? Like they did in the Western world, okay? You'll be able to kind of come public, right? If you are persecuted, these agencies can publicly fight for you in a way until it becomes, then policy-wise, it will now be like the government agencies need to employ people based on what they have to offer, not based on their sexual orientation. So I'm not going to lose a job because I am gay. You get what I mean now? So these are the things they want to put in the system gradually. That people can be whatever they want to be and still be normal. But that's a different culture shock to a lot of our people back in Nigeria. That's the problem. That's where the whole clash is. It's not as if they say they want to convert Nigerians to gay. No. Or they want to encourage them to be gay or to be homosexual. No. There are gays in Nigeria. There are homosexuals there. Here you get me now. There are people who are married today with wife and children. They are gay. They still go behind all their marriages to go and sleep with. You know what I mean? Like, people are hiding it. So what this EU thing is saying is, let them operate freely. Let them come open. Let somebody tell you that I'm this, okay? Without being judged. And that's where the problem is. I know, what do you mean you will come out and say you be gay? Here, we die here. This is the problem. That is what they signed. Now, they are convincing Nigerians to say, no, it's not like LGBT, whatever, no, it is about human rights. No, that's exactly what it is. But it's not to come and convert everybody to gay. No, it's not.
Okay. Well, if personally I am Tinubu now, right, and or a reasonable president or whoever it is that is concerned about this whole thing, is that what Nigeria needs at the moment? Of course, everybody have their own rights, they have the right to choose whatever, but this is an internal affair. You don't, and this Western world, they know what they are doing. You see, as soon as that happens, they will tick it off. Okay, Nigeria is now, at least they've accepted that, right? At the end of the day, it will haunt us, because the ordinary Nigerians who are living Nigeria for one reason or the other, right? We all know that Nigeria is not a place for a normal human being, where they are all surviving in Nigeria. They are not living, right? So with that alone is enough for everybody to run out of Nigeria. But because of this, political, reasons in Western world, they will disapprove, or they will decline your visa application. They will decline your asylum application, and all. And even now, it would be more, if it will become worse. Right, so Nigeria is not even fighting. I mean, Tinubu is not fighting for anybody. He's only fighting for their own pockets, just to have that.
Right now, I know.
Okay. And then, so look, these people, Nigerians have to get rid of them. That's not the point. They need.
The Western world will respect us and all of that. Have you ever seen this kind of agenda in China? Have you ever seen any?
Why can't these people just say, look, Western world, this is not our problem. We need investors. We need people. And of course. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Anyway, thank you very much for giving me that time to talk. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Bye-bye.
You raised a very valid point, and it's true. We are all free to speak our mind here, indeed. But in order for the conversation to become more like, engaging, broad, I can add some spice into it without having to, make you lose your own tract. Mind you, if you are still here with us and you haven't really paid your offering, which is like the broadcast, okay, and share it, please do. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun General, our Tukano Mike.
Prince
Respect,
how are you, Baba?
I'm fine. This is Prince Jejama representing IPOB for life. Baba, we'll miss you for those 2 days where you there. You're welcome. You're welcome back. Would they feel you? Well done.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I still make a chook mouth for this bill where Baba go sign for EU. Aye. Maiyegun General, say even if na devil money there for a house, Trumbu can sign anything to collect money for devil hand. No sense. But the funny thing is, say, this Muslim ticket, Muslim ticket, Christian ticket. Call na disaster on his own. Say Muslim or say Christian. All of us they do on our own religion. Consign now. Even when the time when they ask him to come and lead the prayer, where they say Allah Ram. Allah.
The one that he pretended to be a Muslim now.
He don't need prayer. Allah, call it prayer. True, yeah. I like that man. That man can scam. Hey, Maiyegun, the Muslim ticket. Everybody for North, so everybody they cry. This man don't scam us. He don't scam us big time.
They are now talking about alliance with the East. I don't know if you are paying attention to that.
Alliance with that. They go take their head carry out. No, they will ally with Tinubu. They will rebel with Tinubu and Muslim ticket. You understand? The mistake where they go make, if they immediately they say make they go overthrow Tinubu, when they don't so do where it's going. So they better remain as they as everybody they suffer. Now, one side is what do they call it? Subsidy and suffer head. Let everybody there chop and everybody there chop that hunger and anger. May they just cool down, no. May they not think of overthrow. Any mistake to overthrow, Oduduwa go raise their flag. I just they give them expo now. You understand? So maybe if they decrease, may they just remain for that their ruga. I think they don't say their birthright. That's a born to rule. They have sold it, they give it to a drug lord to manage for them. Then they will see the part 2 of grazing routes. They will see the part 2, you know. So Maiyegun General
have started raising awareness. Arewa wake up. Did you not see that yesterday?
I see them now. I see them. Arewa wake up. We are waiting for them. If they, the thing where they go start, if they know say they want their life, their own life to better, may they just the thing where now they cannot they do. May they know say now they cannot come to save them now. May they allow one now they cannot jelly. Week allow one now they cannot jelly. Oh, for also them, but allow one now they cannot jelly to come out
for your own good.
For your own good. You understand? Then the Ruga, the grazing route, let them plan the life of their children, because as Nigeria they so you don't tire everybody. Everybody just they say who go bear the car. So the two way they say may they just start all the money where they don't see for Nigeria, where Buhari save. The one way there for America, there for UK, everywhere. When they gather around, develop the life of their children, develop their side. That is the only solution. But to say they want to hold Biafra, you know, go walk. Oh. They say when they want to hold Nigeria, they don't say their best rights to Kolu. So it's not going to work.
God bless you.
God bless you.
I'm not keeping any. I have another caller.
Hello.
Oh, that's Charm.
Fine.
Lady, how are you this evening?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you? So happy to have you back. We've missed you.
I know. I'm happy to be back. Thanks for asking.
So we missed you those couple of days. It was kind of like when you're used to a routine of listening to Maiyegun and then you're not listening to Maiyegun, like what's happening?
You will know something is missing. I know. I was tempted. Yeah. I was tempted to, as usual, to at least give something, but I'm like, no, come on.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad you didn't yield to that temptation. I'm glad.
Let's miss ourselves so I can say I miss you.
Exactly. Let's appreciate each other's value in our lives.
You get what I mean? So once in a while, we should appreciate, the absence will make us appreciate our times we spent together. Indeed.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Cham. Thank you.
Let me get to, I watched from the beginning where you talked about Burkina Faso, Mali, forming this, is it I don't know what word to use, but they're coming together to form like a unit.
A bloc, of the Sahel. That's the new bloc.
Okay, the state of the Sahel. Okay, yeah. So I think I think it's fantastic. I think it's a good thing that they're doing for themselves, and for their own people. At the end of the day, I've always and how they kind of like withdrew themselves from all of these foreign entities and everything. And I think something I've always said on this platform is if I were to become, the president of a country and everything in Africa, that's one of the first things I'll do is to extricate myself from all of those entities, because none of those entities have ever served the people. They haven't lifted anybody out of poverty. They have ensured that generations will remain in poverty. So one of the first things I would do, which is what they've done, is to educate myself from all of those entities, and I'm so proud of them for doing that. And I would even go further to say that, like how they said that they, they're going to be doing, business among, they're going to be trading amongst themselves and things like that. It's something I've felt strongly about that. This whole idea that we must trade with the West, I think is a wrong idea that we've been sold. I'm not saying don't trade with the West, but what about trade in your own continent between one another, strengthening your own currencies between yourselves, I'm not acquiring debt because you want to be part of an international community. You see what I'm saying, right? So I think it's really a positive thing, and I think it's something that everyone should everyone should try to, think about as we hope for the birth of new nations like, Duduwa, Biafra and things like that. So as you're thinking about, okay, you're going to have all these new countries and things like that, you also have to be thinking about how you want to interact with the world as well, and knowing that, okay, for the success of your own people, there are certain people that you might, hold off on interacting with, and then I think
people you should never run to, because this is the mistake that some of these, not just new countries that are imagined or that will be imagined. These are the new leadership we imagine, right? But I'm talking about the existing structures in Africa where politicians, once they access power, boom, they're running to America, running to London, running to
London and all of running to France and all of these places.
Countries.
I feel like even those countries, they just need to take a pause. Do you understand? And say, okay, is this what is beneficial for my people? We have been doing this for decades and my people are still poor. So maybe we need to not go there. Maybe we need to actually look inwards. And they always tell you to say that charity begins at home. What are you running to all of these places to go and do? Start from your own country. Start to understand exactly what the needs are and how to meet those needs before you start going outside borrowing money and things like that. Talk about, okay, you have so many countries within the continent. How do you trade within yourselves? How do you transfer, knowledge between yourselves? Because we have knowledge to transfer. There'll be people who will come back to the country because of these new possibilities and new opportunities will start to rise up and things like that. And again, for the past couple of days you haven't been here. We've been going through that whole Samoa deal that allows for the LGBTQ and everything. It started getting me thinking about the whole idea of governance. I never thought that governance would extend to entities telling me what should be acceptable within my own society. I think that is wrong.
That depends
I don't
on
think
how much you allowed, but it does. They influence all this government through some of these treaties, agreements,
and things like that.
Bilateral stuff. They come with conditions.
Yeah, but they come with conditions. But and I think there's a problem with that. Sort of like your own sovereignty is compromised because you want to trade or you want to remain in partnership with all of those things. You want to collect money from them. So therefore, the things that your people have believed centuries centuries before you were even born, before you even came into existence, these things have been there. We have said, okay, this is not who we are, right? But all of a sudden, because you want to be in power, you want to collect more money from these people, they now tell you how to be. They now tell you how to think. I think one of your previous callers, I was saying, okay, now this is another way for them to say, okay, they will start refusing people asylum and everything. They don't need you. They don't need to give you asylum because you're LGBTQ and all of that. They don't need to do that. They want to give you asylum. They don't want to give you. They don't want to give you. At the end of the day, you have to understand there is a programming going on right now. There is a proper agenda to normalize things like LGBTQ, to tell you that those things are not wrong, that those things are acceptable. And I've always said to you on this. Sometimes I've said to you on this show that I really question the influence of the West on Africa. Do you understand? You said you grew up with your grandmother Maiyegun, right? Okay. Now, from all the grandparents that we ever interacted with, back onto maybe if some of them had stories about pre-colonial times and things like that. Now, in pre-colonial times, before we had the white man and all his influence, I mean, this may sound funny, but you have to understand where I'm coming from. Did they ever say that they had houses of where prostitutes were in pre-colonial times, in those traditional era? Did we have things like where, this is place where, okay, there's only prostitutes here? Bear in mind that they've always said that prostitution is like an ancient, it's existed since biblical times. But in Africa, right? Pre-colonial times, before the interaction with Igbo people and all of that, did we have any of that? I just want to know.
There is no real record of it.
Thank you. So there's no real record.
Women were pretty much like so valued and protected that no woman would. No, there was nothing like that.
There was nothing like that. So this is in Africa where we're supposed to be backward and we're supposed to and all of that. But we need to value certain ththings. We knew that okay, certain things were sacred and that there was a way you interacted even with the opposite sector. Now you have Oyibo people. We have prostitution houses all around the whole place. Nobody sees those kind of things, that nobody raises an eyebrow anymore because it's all kind of like normalized. And that is what is going to happen with LGBTQ. If we continue on this trajectory, one day you wake up and somebody will say, okay, it's normal. What are you talking about? Are you from prehistoric times and stuff like that? So it's not about anything about it. It has nothing to do with denying people, what they call it, asylum, or being able to say no and everything. It's just a general program, changing the way changing hearts and minds towards a thing, so that we are not the target. The target is our children's children. When they wake up and there's nobody raising an eyebrow about, this is wrong and that is wrong. And even if you point out to them in the Bible, okay, this is wrong and everything, they'll tell you, oh, that's biblical times. They didn't mean it that way. Do you see where I'm coming from? So it really doesn't have anything with any of that. And those kind of things make me question governance. Do we really have the right idea around governance? Should governance be such that you should tell me how to think about a thing? If I believe within my soul and my spirit that this is wrong, should the government be able to tell me, because they have collected money from someone, that, okay, this is permissible? So these are all of and I really appreciate your show, because I feel like anyone who has a sense and an idea around a new country and everything will start to really think about how governance should work, how governance should be for the people, service by the government, for the service for the people, by the people, for the people, not telling them what to do, just making laws that allow them to be the best version of themselves. If you want to have a business, create, put the right laws in place so that those businesses thrive, your people have education. That is what governance should be. It shouldn't be about forcing me to have a set of beliefs that are organically not mine, right? So anyway, I just thought, I'll just say this.
I love the fact that a lot of you probably have so much you really, really wanted to let out. If we kept this line longer than we have already, right? I'm talking about not opening the line. I think I'm going to do more now to let all of you come out and speak.
I've told you, Maiyegun, you should have a new show called Conversing with Maiyegun.
You said something like that. You see, we could have all programs, but we need personnel, we need resources to keep them running. You don't want something to happen now and then happen like 2-3 weeks, then suddenly you're asking, Maiyegun, what happened to that program? I said, oh, sorry, we couldn't keep running it. I'm keeping record, Cham, right? Thank you so much, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Have a good evening, okay? That's a nice one. Now, I have another call on the line. And yeah, hello.
Maiyegun. My name is Obashola.
How are you?
About Nigeria don't finally finish. Nigeria don't finally finish.
Tell me what I don't know.
Nigerians that are listening to Maiyegun, if by 31st of December, you don't be on the street like the Kenyans, just have in mind that Nigerians are born to be slaves. It's suffering. Seeing you showing videos, people cutting yam and selling spaghetti in nylon bag.
They are saying
That's the
start today. And I said, are you crazy? Like, it didn't start today. This was my own experience 30 years ago. You mean it's okay right now for children born in 2024 to actually see the experience in this?
No, the height of suffering is so high that I'm wondering the kind of skin Nigerians are stomaching to keep on laughing and listening to these politicians. For me, I am only giving Nigerians 31st of December. If we don't see a mega NSAS in that country that will rock the whole place upside down and politicians running up and down, I will now finally agree by 2025 that Nigerians are born slaves, because it is obvious. I don't see where people are in their house, you cannot eat, you are not feeding, and you are still smiling. It is that bad. If you go to Nigeria today, you still see them in beer parlor, still drinking. Yeah, they say the beer is expensive. They are still drinking. But can you imagine Wiki? Wiki is dancing, playing, they are all enjoying. It's so terrible. And then the president does not even care. So Nigerians watching Maiyegun's diary, Maiyegun has told you, your Lagos State governor said you should come and be eating free food. Have you eaten there today? If it's not a scam,
I haven't seen any.
That is a scam. Calculate that money is in their pockets, and yet Nigerians are still looking at them. I am giving you Nigerians 31st of December. If you do not come out and start protesting, just know that we are slaves, and don't expect people from diaspora to save you.
Kenyans didn't call on Kenyans abroad to come and fight for them now before they take on Ruto.
Yes.
They are not saying we are suffering, but what are you doing about it? Why don't you come back from your America? Do you want them to kill us? So you are in your America. Why don't you bring your family in America or bring your family from Europe? Kenyans didn't say that, Baba. See what they have achieved.
At me, I know that they're enjoying the suffering, so I'll leave it to them. So Nigerians, 31st of November, if you like, don't come out by that time. I am giving Nigerians between now and 31st of December, change things. After that, forget it. Don't come and grumble to anybody again. Thank you, Maiyegun.
God bless you, Baba. Thank you so much for that. And here is something.
Somebody say you should be saying that all this your shepherd, he is using bodyguard. Sorry, and that is what religion has done to a lot of people, including our nation. When you keep on telling our people that giving will make you rich, and we have several graduates who are jobless. Giving will make you rich, and you know you are giving to the rich, and the Bible says you become poor. Me, conveniently, you see me using 5G, by your 1, by your 2, by your 3, by your 4, and the 6th one, Mopo, Amatekun. Then the one in front, Soldier, and you are still giving to me. You are not waking up. Somebody say you should be saying that all this your shepherd, and he is using bodyguard. Sorry, if you know that God is his own shepherd, and he will walk through the valley of Saturday, why is it you say Amatekun? Why is it you say Mopo? Why is it you say bodyguards? Hello, conveniently, you can give him millions of dollars, and you still want your church member to be contributing for you. Something is wrong. But I won't blame them. Some of you want to buy miracle. You love tea. Somebody now say, if you don't pay tithe, you are not going to heaven. That is.
You want to buy miracle? I have a caller. Hello.
Maiyegun General.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Very well. Thanks so much for asking.
Yeah, this is Ferdinand from Newcastle.
It's my brother. Ferdinand from Newcastle. You know, it's good to have you tonight again. Please.
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to thank you for what you've been doing and the effort you've been putting. And also, I so much appreciate your objectivity, because I've always been keen and very observant when it comes to your sense of judgment. You know, the way you speed it out. You know, you call black black and red red, no matter who else is called. So you don't really look at you've moved beyond the tribe and all that, religion and all that. You know, you dish it to the Ronukus and you dish it to the Igbos, the tribal bigots, and you try to stay balanced. No matter anything that happens, you're just neutral. I really love that so much, because such virtues are so scarce. They are scarce commodity to come across. Honesty is not really a common commodity. If not, the world would have been a better place. So thank you very much for that. So quickly, I'll just go straight to the point. I'll just go straight to the point. I listened to your broadcast. I started playing the old ones the 2 days you were absent at work, just to keep myself going at work and all that. It was really nice. You see, what I told you the last time, I actually made a mistake using the Yoruba people, and you actually corrected me, because not all Yorubas actually supported Tinubu. You see, what is happening now with what Kulu has done, he has actually proved to the northern religious fanatics that indeed a Yoruba Muslim, let me use Yoruba now, please, because we have some Yorubas that are Muslims, even if they support Tinubu or not, but we have Yorubas that are Muslims. So let me just use Yoruba now, not Ronukus. He has proved to the northern Muslims that Yoruba Muslim cannot be trusted when it has to do with taking religion because of that thing he signed. And trust me, with what they are cooking up for him already, they've seen a way, as in he has given them a tool to attack him. This is my analysis, and this is what I'm thinking will happen based on the short clip you played in this broadcast tonight. He has given them more clip to attack him. You know, the northern religious fanatics don't really see the Western Muslims as extremists, because you will not see a Yoruba Muslim that will want to go and blow up himself in the name of religion. I'm not sure Yoruba Muslims can really go to that extent to prove their loyalty to Islamism.
In fairness, right, Ferdinand? In fairness, I think in the context where you use the Yoruba Muslim, right? I'm going to offer you another advice in that regard. All right. The reason is this. Okay. When we say Yoruba Muslims, we are putting all of them in the same basket to say, oh, well, maybe because they support him because he's a Muslim. That's also not true. All right. But sentiment left, right, and center based on this subject matter, right, can put everybody in that same basket. Yoruba Christian, Yoruba Muslim. I mean, RCCG is a Yoruba church, you know that. And we know the role they play, right? So with all of this, right, I'm just going to probably just say the Ronukus, they have identity, brother. So whenever you want to probably, because these Ronukus, they are the ones who are making the impression that Yorubas are doing, I mean, they are defending thiefnubu because thiefnubu is Yoruba. Therefore, they expect all Yorubas to kind of be on that side, but they know that's not true. Okay, so I would advise you probably just put it as all these Ronu Muslims, all these
good
Yoruba Ronus.
Good.
Now, when you put it that way, people will be they will be clear and say, okay, we know, because we can't deny their existence. Okay, and I don't want you to lose the plot. So put it that way, you see it will be much easier whenever you make analogies like this. Okay,
exactly.
Right? One second, you know something? There are some of them from northern Nigeria who knows as well, right, that thiefnubu is not really welcomed in Yoruba land per se, except for those who are looking
some of them know. Some of them know. Some of them know. Some of them know. Some of them know it. So thank you very much for that correction. So now,
just for the sake of our listeners, because most of the time, right, innocently, right, you are just making an expression, right? And
so
based on
thank you very
what
much.
you may know or anything, but they come out. Once they come out, it appeals to the bigotry of others. So, hey, you hear that one? No, Che, you know, hear that one. Everyone is looking for something that way. So, for context, you know, I do it. I hope it works for you. Go on.
So now the Yoruba Runu Muslims who have actually supported Tinubu and the other Runukus who have actually helped him to promote his tribal bigotry towards the Igbos and the Easterners and all that. Now they will be left with a way to kind of like try to make up with the Easterners, because if the North is coming against
I told you that before. I said the Igbos are going to be the bride. No get sense.
They don't have any sense.
I said their number one enemy will be this Fulani North. The ones they think, because those are the ones that will say Tinubu must go. The Igbos that they are saying they should go and attack and kill and all of that all the time, they will now be dead. The Igbos, it's already happening. Sorry, Ferdinand.
Because if they are going against him, he cannot lead any state in the north, and the western states, the Yoruba states, cannot give him enough votes to win. So he would want to come to the southeast and south to get enough states and some part of middle belt to rig himself in, and that would make 2027 a really, really tight corner for him. So I think they should have thought twice before letting the past charade promote their tribal bigotry and all that.
And all of that. They didn't think it through. Ronukus don't think.
No, they don't think, they just think and act for that moment. And secondly, I just want to talk about the issue of religion in Africa. I was watching the former broadcast you made. I was watching how South African president was just fooling himself there, and I was like, what is Ramaphosa doing here? Like, the whole thing was quite odd. It's obvious he's not a Muslim. He doesn't know how to pray. Nothing. He was just, these politicians, they are like actors. Just give them any script and they will play they will play any role you want them to play. Whenever they just want to get people to do things they want to do. And that shows you how unserious African politicians are. You get it? They are so unserious to the extent that it is only when they want something from people that they get closer. Okay, let's go to church. We'll get votes from church. We'll convince the GO to convince his followers so we can get votes. That's the only thing that they have in mind. The only thing it's always about the next election. It's always about the next election. What did the previous one actually achieve? Nothing. There's nothing to show for the previous one. You and I were in the UK. Yeah, we noticed how the election was done smoothly. Power was changed. I followed the whole process. The voting, everything went smoothly. There was no inauguration. No millions of pounds were spent to change government. Nothing. Rishi Sunak just left office. Keir Starmer stepped in, made speech. The government has started one. Even that day there was election, some people were still working. Some people were at work. Some people watched the election during their break time. Some people there was no public holiday, nothing. There was no, in fact, the whole country was running smoothly as if nothing is happening. You see, that is how elections should be. But unfortunately, in Africa, because of the looting, it's always like it is our turn to loot. That is why they kill and do everything.
That's how we do election. Which kind of election that people know no blood, no nothing, no help us. So INEC, police, soldier, they come to Umukoro Avenue. That's election in Nigeria, unfortunately, Ferdinand.
Yeah. So that is how they've actually messed up the whole thing. The voting system here is actually quite transparent, and if we really want to get this thing straight, I just feel we should go the Kenyan way. Start a very massive protest, because these politicians, if we don't take them by the bull, take the bull by the horn, we are not really actually going to get the change that
going to happen in September.
Exactly.
Something is going to happen in September. I don't know if that is going to be big enough to fit into what some of you are assuming or presuming to kind of should happen, right? I'm going to say this. Everybody should look out for September. Nigeria is going to do something in September. I won't say more until I have more.
Yeah, and lastly, there's somebody who is commenting on this platform now, but he's going by the name T. He said, "Caller, stop your mumu. Who told you now votes then them count? Could you please caution people to know the languages they use on this platform, because this is what actually make this platform so unique, because we don't use abusive words, and we respect each other's ideology and all that. So people should actually be guided, so it doesn't look like a place you can just come and then render insult and all those kind of misconduct and just go scot. People should try to be civil. Thank you very much for your show. I really appreciate what you're doing. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye. You're welcome, sir. Bye. Bye.
That's a good one. Indeed, it is. If you don't like what people are saying, you too should pick up the phone and call in and listen. It is very true. You do not have to agree with what people are saying. Okay? And I know that a lot of you, it's actually a big thing. I know I can't control what you say. I can't kind of control how you say them, but I want you to be mindful. The fact that you are not going to lose anything. If you disagree with somebody's opinion, just say it. This word like this idiot, this fool, one idiot. Come on. That's what we're trying to kind of change. And there is a reason why we have to. Because we need to have the ability to communicate and converse. We need to be able to discuss. That's one of the problems that people don't pay attention to. It is so difficult for people, especially us, with all this our background and all of these divisions, right? Rhetorics and all that. It is so difficult to have a conversation online. It's so difficult because when you are trying to say something, somebody will just drop it and say, "Oh, nonsense, they talk. All this mumu talk." Come on. Okay, yeah, come and talk the better talk. I say, "No, I don't have anything to say. I just know that you're nonsense, they talk." With some respect, you can disagree with people and say, "I disagree. I disagree with you. And this is why." Other people will learn from you. Even me, I will learn from people. Disagree with me. It's normal. I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. Okay, if I say something that is probably off chart, or maybe I am not up to date on something, and I'm saying something that is no longer or has changed, I am always willing to be told. No, Maiyegun, Maiyegun, that one our whole story. You know, you are not up to date. I won't take offense. But if you don't agree with me and you just say, "You this Maiyegun, you be mumusha. This thing you are talking about now 2 days ago, that one don't pass." Tell me how I'm gonna feel. You are not saying I'm lying or saying something wrong, okay? But it's because it happened 2 days ago. Then you call me mumu. Like, how do you think I'm? Won't I say Ogungu kill you? Who be mumu? You know, we do not have the ability, the patience to communicate because every small thing we want to flare up. We want to speak over ourselves to show that, you know, our opinion is the most brilliant. Your opinion may be, your idea may be the best. Have you heard that? I mean, have you heard others' opinions too? Have you heard about their own ideas too? What are you going to lose? If you have an idea, this one have an idea, they have this perspective, that one have this perspective, and you're able to kind of communicate and understand where everyone is coming from, and then finally put all those ideas together and say, our idea. That's what the power of communication does, okay? But Niger, this one are fool. Baba, this one are an idiot. Come on, this idiot, Baba. Come on. You all need to begin to kind of learn that yeah, it's all right to disagree with people. But sometimes you disagree to agree, they say. I'm sorry I kept somebody there for a while. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Maiyegun. Well done.
How are you?
Nice one. Actually, to be honest, yes, I am the one that made that statement. So, and I've already put it down that I noted. Sorry.
God bless you.
You know, because it's very hot. When I heard people saying things like, oh, wait, next election, they won't vote for him. So you're making it look as if all what we've been saying so far that he bought the election, he rigged the election, is a lie. Because the vote doesn't count. So when I heard people now saying, wait for 2027, you will see, they will vote him out. So I would not say, do you people still believe?
Are you being serious?
Now votes that they use. I know. So you are making us look as if all what we've been saying that he rigged the election, he paid money to Mahmoud. That means it's not fact. We're lying. We're just using it as propaganda. Because these people they're still saying, all these Abadorians, idiots, they're still saying, oh, all those American fake certificates, they just cook it. It's not true. So up till now, you still haven't believed it. So we're lying. So when I now heard someone saying, oh, wait for 2027, they won't vote for him. Because now they've now know that. So that means are you now saying he really won this election, this last election? He bought it. So 2027, if he's still there, he will win.
And no,
yeah, definitely.
That's a fact that is
he's gonna win because it's not by vote.
Right.
Your vote does not count.
Right.
Yeah, they're not counting the vote. So I'm very sorry to the caller, the last caller. I'm the one that made that
amazing, okay? And I appreciate the fact that you understand what we are trying to, you know, because if we say free for all of us can be here, but no message will be passed if all of us are kind of using that, okay? I appreciate the fact that you asked to call him, Baba. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. So I have another caller, and that's something there too, right? It can be annoying.
I didn't even see it that way. When people talk about, maybe subconsciously too, like when they talk about the next election, the North and the East, and we are kind of making it look like both does count when they don't. Here is another caller. Hello.
Hello, Maiyegun Baba.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Baba, I'm good. How are you, Baba?
Well, I'm very well. No, thank you for asking.
You're welcome, Baba. I'm not sure if you can be able to remind me, like the kind of person I am. Like, my name is Moses. I could remember the last time I gave you, which is Odunayo. You say you couldn't remember that name, which is okay, Baba.
Well, now I will remember, but I remember Moses. I think I
You remember we talk about somebody get kidnapped in Ogun State.
Yes.
Like somebody get kidnapped in Yoruba land. This kind of thing is going on in Yoruba land. I told you that very day, like, you heard about this.
I remember. Oh, yeah.
It's been like two years ago now.
It's been a while.
2 years ago.
Yeah. But you see that name Moses.
Quick one.
I'm trying to kind of connect a few other things behind it as well, but I do, and it's good to have you back on, though.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank
you. Quick one.
Then,
Yeah, a lot, Baba, a lot. Presently, Baba, I'm in Nigeria, right? But I based in America. Yesterday, there is a video that you shared on your platform. Like, they broke into somebody's house and they opened the gates and they just walk in as if they are the one that hold us, right? Baba, the one that happened to me, this is me. I'm talking about me right now. This one happened to me personally.
Experience.
Baba, last year, I came home just to see my family because my wife, she's still here, right?
Right.
Will you believe they broke into my house after leaving this country in November 11/11?
Okay, hang on.
Last year.
You were home last year, okay?
Yes.
And
yes.
Was it when you were home that your family home was targeted, or when you left, you were told they came?
Okay, this was like before I came.
Oh, before you
last
go.
year.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah. And they broke into my house because I normally just come home like once in a while, like twice in a year, just to see my wife, to pay them visits, stuff like that, right? So these people, they came into my house, which is November last year.
Okay, where your wife and your family actually lives.
Man, yes, yes, Baba. This is true life story, Baba.
I deal with you, Baba.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding, Baba.
I'm so interested because when I see people who survived, you see, when we say may Nigeria not happen to us, because not everybody that Nigeria happened to actually live to tell the story. That's why I'm interested, because you survived it. I am interested. Go,
Baba. I do survive it, right, Baba? This happened November last year. I later came home in December. Just to, like, what is going on? I still like maybe let's like a month and some weeks. Will you believe I returned back to the States in January 10th, 2024, this year? This people came back in February 2nd, 2024.
And when we say these people, remember the video I shared was EFCC jumping the people's fence. Who are these people we are talking about in your case, sir?
Bro, Baba, I don't even know who is who. I don't know.
Like, did they say they were like government agents, EFCC or something?
I have the Civic camera. The second time, the first time, I did not have this CCTV camera in my house then. But I'm like, what's going on? I need to fish what is really going on in this environment. I have to call somebody to come and install CCTV camera.
And what about your family? Did they meet them at home any
Yes.
of those occasions? What did they tell them?
Baba, this thing looked like it just looked like they're acting a movie. I was in the States. My wife called me around 2 a.m. in the one something, getting close like 2 a.m. in the morning. She was like, "This people are here again." Like Nigeria time, 2 a.m.
2 a.m. in the
Nigeria
morning.
time.
Okay.
Exactly. She was like, "They are here again," and she just put the phone down.
Okay.
Camera to see exactly what is going on. Baba, by the time I opened that specific camera, I was crying in America. I was crying. I was helpless. You're
watching
I
them,
keep calling people
you're
around.
watching them do
And
all
Baba, I was crying. They
illegality.
are beating my wife like they're trying to rape her. I was looking at everything on CCTV camera. Maiyegun, Baba me borrow for me. I was crying on the phone. I was helpless. The police was telling me I want to close. I was crying, Baba. I was crying.
Helplessly.
Baba. This like Baba, paro. Each time it's about walking trauma and she will me. Up to this time. In fact, me can watch full video and go on the phone. But you know, Yaomi, offer Yaomi now. Offer Yaomi. They are beating my wife. Like, no, I can be able to hear everything on CCTV camera. And I saw her the way she was running out from the building.
Did you make any effort, Baba? Like after that, you got some more.
Baba, I called so many people around in the neighborhood. I was helpless. I said I was helpless.
What were they
no
looking
security,
for? What
no nothing.
Did they ask her for what? Were they asking for you?
They are asking for gold. They are asking for money. They are asking for money, gold, and they are like, as soon as when they broke into the building, they are like, oh, where is him? Like, who renovate the house? Who do this? Who do that? Like, as if like they are monitoring. Like each time I came home, I don't understand. I don't understand.
That's a serious.
It is scary, Baba. It is, Baba. The reason why I called it tonight is just exactly what you've been saying for a long time. This country is out of it. I'm telling you, all these policemen out here, you go and think like they're out there to save you. They are not out there to save you. They'll be telling you, they will be referring somebody for you, like the vigilante. Go meet this person. They will give you security. Police will be telling you that. Police, like Kenyans, vigilante la do. I won't share anything. I won't share kokon.
Baba,
Baba,
so sorry once
I have that camera. I have it. Baba.
Go on, sorry.
Baba.
Anyway, Moses,
Funny,
there is nothing I'm going to say that is probably going to change anything that you have experienced, right? But it's something you have done tonight. You have shared your own personal experience. And there are tens of thousands of people that are going to hear you say that. You understand now? So I'm just going to say we are sorry. And we hope that this is not going to happen again.
Baba, Tabani could happen again. If we say it's not going to happen again, we are lying.
No, I said I hope. Because I can't say it can't. We know, you know.
Because there is no security.
The survivors of yesterday are today's victims. Those of us who survived today, we are potential victims of tomorrow. So it's you know, we wish it won't, but maybe you have taken steps, right, to
I
enhance the
have,
level of
I'm
security,
not playing
improve on
about
that.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
God bless you, Sir Moses.
Yeah.
Thanks so
Yeah.
much for sharing that with us. Okay, you have a good one. God bless you. I mean, things happen, and everyone has a story. Or whenever people have a chance or they are alive to share their story, I cannot see them as winners. There are so many people that didn't live to tell their stories. Only if you had a chance of hearing their stories, you will understand how bad or worse what we are talking about is exactly. Air Force One. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir, Baba. Yes, sir. How are you?
I am very well. How are you?
I'm here. I'm good. Thank you. Nice show.
Thank you, sir.
So let me go real quick. You see, the money, it's $150 billion, right? From European, whatever they call themselves.
EU, Samoa.
Yeah. She did Nigeria, I think she find Nigeria don't maybe find Bara before now. Or not even before. I mean, around the whole world, they believe find Bara. So, in fact, because my point is, what height or how low again can they go that somebody will be surprised? Okay, you remember the bargain with $20 billion for crude oil that they will be drilling for certain numbers of years. Remember when we did that show? So, yeah, they've been saying our destiny for a long time. For the unborn children, what else? How high can they go? How low? Can they go? That would be so. Yeah, that would be so funny. And if you look at this people, that's what they've been doing. Yeah. There was this woman, a journalist, Aman Paul, I don't know how to say her name. She has been
Amanpo, CNN journalist. I think she calls herself investigative journalist. Yeah, Christiana Amanpo.
Journalist, yes. She has interviewed many African presidents before. The one from Uganda, even this. I think if I'm mistaken, maybe Ruto, but I'm sure Uhuru Kenyatta, the former Kenyatta. If you remember that interview, she prompted that man several times about this LGBTQ and them tolerating gay people in their nation. And the guy doubled down.
She did one with Museveni of Uganda too. Maybe the
she did.
interview of a CNN. Yeah, go on, Baba. Go on.
No, she did. She did for both of them. I'm not sure about Ruto, but she did. I mean, so the main point is that they are the agents of. I don't want to use satanic agent, but those are the agents who are propagating this gay thing and LGBTQ thing. Now, to the Northerners who are, with their shenanigans and being placed under the green grass, it doesn't bother me. I mean, the works of their hands is as dark as anything. So, if you see people who are there as being sinner or infidel or whatever, like according to what they always call them, their enemy, that they are infidel. Why are they screaming? Why are they crying? All of a sudden, they turn to a wedding wailer. That now they want to sign money, to legitimize LGBTQ. Many times I'm of the opinion that let's respect each other's religion and stuff like that. But when you try to force your thing on me, that one is what I don't like. So why are they crying now? It's your own now. Do you know how many kids they killed? Do you know how many homes they displayed? ID camp, what they call them, ID, whatever, IDP. Isn't that even outrageous or even satanic enough?
With over 20 million.
Okay, so imagine that. So what are you doing? We are fighting for God. See, bro, let me say this again. I said it wrongly. Nigeria's sufferness is not today. You know, when you were talking about sawdust, I remember doing about that time. When Nigerians should have hit the streets, for me, I hope, and I'm still trying to be an optimist. I mean, be an optimist and optimistic that I hope it's not too late. Because, Baba, we should have hit the streets I'm talking about as early as 1995, 1994. So that's 97. We should have hit the streets. We should have hit the street, Baba. Because before, if you see the issue that the Kenya issue now,
Kenyans are fighting.
It's even lower than a tip of iceberg. It's not just a finance deal. Do you know many lives? Well, even assassinations that they committed by the Nigerian government during the military time, that doesn't even reach any high ground. They kick and start Wiwa, nobody stand to do anything. They keep on like it. What happened afterwards? MKO Habiola. So what else can they do? For me, like I said, I am always, because that's how I live my life, as I'm optimist. It's been helping me. It has helped me a lot. So I'm still hoping, but I doubt it. It's too late. I doubt it that Nigeria should have hit the street long time ago.
Thank you so
because
much.
Do you know what they're doing now? You know what they're doing now? Because tomato is now too expensive, they try to adapt and find another means by buying watermelon.
What?
Do you know they've been buying watermelon now to substitute for tomato in cooking stew or soup?
Watermelon to
substitute
for tomato. Really?
You've not seen that?
I have not. I actually thought it's a cucumber. Yeah, cucumber has
no.
Place tomato.
Baba, they use watermelon. I don't see the video twice. I saw it. They already adapt.
Watermelon soup. Anyway. One true bro. Thank you so much, Baba. I'm going to see you again, and I'll speak to you some other time. You have a good evening. Okay, thanks a lot. Now, this is us drawing the curtain now. And as usual, I'm just going to remind you that before you go, right? Because this time around, we all have to go. So before you go, like the broadcast, share it if you haven't, subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this chat and this is your first or second time. That's what we do here, okay? We discuss life issues. Because if it be you, and thank you so much for all your time, everyone. I'm going to see you again tomorrow. Until then, just take it easy. Spread the message. Spread the word. All of you should have a wonderful night and more wonderful week too. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ ọ́ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ ọ́ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Maiyegun Diary politico. Maiyegun Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun diary, na ibi number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun diary, na ibi number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, na ibi number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ṣúra jù ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.